So you know I got to lean in.
Happy Monday, everybody. Welcome to another lean for the Real Housewives of Potomac. I am here with Danny and Asia. I know y'all saw Sammy last week. Y'all saw Dream last week. Y'all gonna see Jasmine and Antonio. Y'all gonna see all seven of us at some point because we are the panel for this year, for this season. And I'm glad, the Potomac did their little revamp and we had one of our own. So it's good. What's going on, Danny? How are you? I like that pink.
Thank you. I am glad to be back. I feel like I haven't been on here in so long.
It has been a while. We're so glad you could.
Jersey was the last time.
Child, and I'm glad that's over too. So, speaking of long time, Asia, it's really been a long time for you, honey. Last time we see you, you was, stabbing me in the back at the cabin. How are you, Asia?
Still winning, like I did at the cabin. Still winning. Yeah. Like I did at the cabin.
We won't go there. Dream is in the chat as well. Hey, Dream. Hey, BKZ, Empress, Art World, Cassie, April. Shout out to everybody that's still rocking with us. Like I said, we're here. We're going to continue to do the shows that we are committed to. Of course, Potomac, Beverly Hills, Salt Lake City. Any other shows, I'll tell you right now, we probably won't do. I know y'all are asking New York and stuff like that. Realistically, we just know what works best for us, and we could obviously pull in viewers from anything, as you all are very dedicated and committed to us. But realistically, when it comes to shows, I got to be 100% interested, and if I'm not interested, it's not going to be working out.
We're going to do Jersey if they come back, right?
Well, yeah, Jersey, of course. Like the shows, our heavy hitting shows, that really we really get into and y'all really come out for. So just stay with us, keep rocking with us, subscribe to the channel, and like this video. So we're on episode 2 of Potomac. It is, I don't want to say as a revamp, but just like last week I said, this season it feels good. I don't know, like even watching the second episode, I felt like I wasn't drained, and I'm eager to see what they do with it. And they've already started out with a good little bang. I know you two weren't here last week, so just how are you two feeling with the new season, Asia?
I'm feeling good about the new season. The only thing that's still predictable is Gizelle's not necessarily coming in with her own storyline, but pulling from other people. So I did notice that, but overall, she now has to work, and I like it.
Okay.
And Wendy is funny.
Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I feel like they gave us just enough without giving us too much at one time. I like that it feels like we're going to get a build up instead of a bam the first episode, and then it just goes downhill for a while with a bunch of fillers. I like that they're coming in just strong enough. And yeah, like Asia said, Gizelle really clocked in last episode. I'm going to give her, still don't like her, but I'm going to give her G's. She clocked in. She came to work.
I was really looking forward to Jasmine being here today because I wanted to hear her say, who does Gizelle think she is? Because I know it would have came, but we'll see. I'm sure we'll get it at some point.
You'll get it. It's coming.
We'll get
it's coming.
It's coming. So let's pick up in this episode. So it's actually a continuation. It looks like a lot of things are going to be continuations this season. Last week, they had a attitude party for Karen. We know Karen had her incident where she didn't ran into a deer, a pole, or ran off the road, or whatever she did. That's her story, not mine. And the last week's episode ended with Mia running into the bathroom crying because she felt like Karen and Gizelle were basically saying she was not a good parent or good mother for not protecting her kids by, being around this new man, Ink, and having all these relationships with him while the kids were apparently present or could see what was going on. So we pick up this episode. Mia's in the bathroom. She's crying. She has her friend Jazzy. She has Jacqueline. I will say this season has a lot of extra. We have 2 new housewives, but we have the friends are all involved, at least for now. And I like it. Charisse, I'm sorry, it just didn't work out for me. I haven't really seen it for her for a long time. So I like that bringing out new, fresh faces and people that are just really, they clocking in, like they actually are involved. So I like that. But Mia's in the bathroom with her friend Jazzy and Jacqueline, who is, now reacquainted with the group. And, Mia just feels like Karen is deflecting. She feels like she to me she's kind of proving what Karen was saying, because honestly, with Mia saying she's deflecting, it sounds like she wanted to hear more about Karen's situation, or maybe she wanted accountability. I don't know, but basically, she wanted the attention to be on her, and unfortunately, it got turned onto her and her situation. So she goes back. But before that, Gizelle doubles down and just feels like, it is what it is. She felt like, she's basically saying what G said last year, that she mixed things with her kids and she didn't protect them. So Gizelle moves on with the event. She don't care that Mia's crying in the bathroom. And it's so funny seeing this because, once upon a time, Mia was always siding with with Karen and not Karen, I'm sorry, with Gizelle and Robin. But it was only a matter of time before Giselle's ways came on over to Mia. I don't feel like Gizelle is actually wrong in this moment. She's really saying what we all saw and seen. So Mia comes back. And Gizelle and Karen both apologize. They do apologize. They say they didn't want to make her feel some kind of way. Even Wendy, who's empathetic to the fact that she's a mother, they're all mothers. So they have that moment. And there's just a little shade thrown at Jacqueline as to why she left the group, and that she's back, and Mia feels that kind of shade. So any thoughts on this whole luncheon event or Mia before we move to the actual, the continuation of the episode?
The only thing I clocked was when you said they both apologized. Giselle's apology to me wasn't really an apology. She just said, I didn't want you to cry. So it means she wanted to say everything she wanted to say. She just didn't want her to cry. So Giselle's apology wasn't really an apology to me. And what you said about the friends, I agree. Because even Miss Vivian, we've seen her maybe a total of 3 minutes. And she's contributed more than Charisse in the last 3 seasons as a friend. So
Vivian give me Charisse, no shade.
Yes, you do. I was seeing somebody else say because I don't. She looked more put together than Charisse does to me.
Yes, she does. Asia, any thoughts? You on mute, Asia. You muted yourself. There you go.
Yes, Vivian does look more put together than Charisse.
Okay.
Yeah. No, I really don't have much to say. I don't feel like that was the right place or time for Karen or Gizelle to say those things about Mia. Mm-hmm. I understand them being said, but Karen at your party, come on. Because if we're going to talk about somebody doing wrong things, we're going to talk about you, skirt, into a tree. Okay? Yeah, I understand Mia being upset about that. Like, she truly was upset. That wasn't fake. Even though her face kind of barely moves when she cried, she was upset.
You don't think it was upset?
I think what she heard was you don't protect your kids, and she was upset about that for sure.
I think she had an opportunity to.
What do you think she made?
I think she had an opportunity to have a moment to where, when how housewives react when you bring up the kids and their things like that, they always don't talk about me as a mother, and I think she used that. That's just me.
Okay.
But to me, if you're saying bringing up my kids as saying that I don't take care of whatever about my kids, when you was in an accident that could have killed kids.
Well, yeah, you're right.
When you saying it as a reflection to that, I'm going to take it as you attacking me. You trying to comfort me because of when I think it was the timing of when Karen said it. Like Asia said, it really wasn't time. If this is a party, it wasn't a time and place for that conversation. It wasn't a time to question Karen. None of that. We're supposed to be having fun, but I get it. We here for TV, so
yeah.
But
quick shout out to Cassie for sending this super chat. And saying first of all, Cassie, happy birthday again. I saw your photo. I was like, okay. Okay, listen.
Happy.
You look great. And you listen, I wouldn't want to stand next to you, child, because I wouldn't look that good in the photos as you do. So shout out to Cassie for the super chat and happy birthday again. I know she had a birthday. I think it was a couple weeks ago, I believe. I saw the photo shoot again.
Happy belated, Cassie.
Thank you, Cassie. So then we get a scene that I thought we'd never get, child. It actually was Wendy and Gizelle's sit down. So at the event, Gizelle asked, could they have a conversation? And they have a conversation. So they sit down, and these type of conversations are always very awkward because, it's just how do they start? You know, when there's so much tension between two people, like just think back to when Candy and Phaedra sat down. It was just like, like I wonder. I would love to see these scenes unedited because I want to know like exactly how did they get to the point to where they actually start talking, because it's always so difficult for them to start talking, right? So they sit down, there's a little shade, a little bit. Gizelle is like, I mean, what's up with the feathers? Are we flying away? You know, trying to make light of the situation. Gizelle is like, no. I'm sorry, Wendy's like, no, you know, it's just something I wanted to wear. And I saw some stuff on Twitter, people saying that, you know, wow, Wendy, it's just a lunch. I'm like, they're housewives. Please, let's not act like these housewives don't put on the most extravagant type of things to do whatever. If she wants, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see an issue with that, but that's just what Twitter, you know, they always giving it to the girls like they can't dress up.
And I think it was dinner too, by the way, because that man said we out of Branzino for dinner.
Right, whatever. Even if it was brunch, hey,
yeah,
Wendy's a housewife. She's fabulous. Let her do what she want to do, extra or not. Gizelle could be a little extra for once, and maybe she would look decent.
Once, like Gizelle, you don't even try. So
yeah. Okay, so basically Gizelle starts by saying that she's there to listen, not to be combative. But she never liked Wendy being condescending in moments where she would have a one, like anytime that they, like whenever she feels like whenever Wendy's upset, she's condescending. And so Wendy gives her reply and basically says, well, I want you to know that I was responding to whatever was happening. It's not like I just came out of anywhere and you came for me. So they showed the clip of how it all started, which we know that when they made the allegations of, you know, Eddie and being with this woman, like, was it 2000, like 2 or 3 years ago, I believe it was, when you know, when Gizelle and Robin were kind of coming at Wendy's marriage. And then she basically says, you can't tell me how to respond. So then she brings up the fact that Gizelle likes to alienate people. And Wendy is just like, I'm sorry, not Wendy. And Gizelle just basically says that, well, you know, if I don't want to talk to you, I don't want to talk to you. And I'm just like, well, you're kind of further proving Wendy's point, because you feel like you can do what you want to do when you're upset, but I can't say what I want to say. And that's one thing I've always hated about Potomac is that they want to police how people respond and things like that. And it clearly is it's never going to change. Like they feel like they can do whatever, but you can never say whatever. And that's kind of what Gizelle is saying in this moment. And I was like, whatever. But they move past it. Wendy makes a little comment about the way she eats her was it her what thing called? Her oysters. And so they get past that and they talk about Karen's event. And they basically both agree that Mia was hurt. And Karen has actually met Ink, but there's more jokes about him being short. So any thoughts on this lunch, Danny?
Yeah, so I don't feel like anything was resolved. I feel like they were forced to have a sit down to get along. I don't think that we're going to see nothing but surface and fakeness all season from both of them in regards to each other. And yeah, that's all I got. I just don't.
Asia.
Fake. And the thing that cracks me up about it, from the invite at the other event to this, Wendy knows it's fake, and that's why she keeps laughing and giggling and canoodling it. Like she's just like, this is so fake. This bitch don't want to be my friend. Like she don't. So I'm obliged. I'm unobliged because she just quit her professorship or whatever. She's prancing around the White House like she knows what she needs to do to keep this job, keep this check, because she gonna do it. But she knows Gizelle don't like her. She knows it's fake. And I think throughout the season, we're going to see Wendy just keep playing along. Like, hey girl, hey, oh, like she even was like, oh, I was sleeping with Gizelle and stuff like that. Like, we know Wendy is playing a game here, and Gizelle is seething. That's why as soon as Wendy sat down, Gizelle couldn't even talk. She's like, here we go.
Yeah, I think Gizelle really don't. They know neither one of them really want this, but Wendy is going to pour it on to make her feel uncomfortable, be around her to piss her more, and yeah.
Wendy, I'm really probably gonna like Wendy this season. I'm not gonna lie. Like she's finally getting up in there.
What is that? What is that? Like, that's what we say that. It would mean that was, you know.
Getting up in there.
Okay, getting up in there. Okay, she's gonna do that.
Yeah.
Cassie said, I heard that Wendy said a lot more to sit down, but they didn't show anything in regards to Wendy calling Gizzard out. That may be true. They do protect Gizelle. They do favor her over there. I mean, she's been there. She's an OG, so I guess it's okay, right? Whether she's right or wrong. But this definitely y'all need to sit down and stop making the show so dark. And move forward, because who would want to see another season of them not talking? And the key thing about this whole sit down was that when Wendy said you like to alienate people, I think that was like the most spot on thing, because it's not even about speaking to people. What we're going to talk about later in the episode, I feel like Gizelle has been very guilty of that a lot in the past, like making you kind of choose a side, or making you feel uncomfortable, or whatever it may be. That's what she's been guilty of, and I'm glad that Wendy said that. I do feel like more was said at that luncheon or dinner that was probably edited out, and I'm pretty sure Wendy probably got into Gizelle, just because I feel like she can move her mouth, she can talk. So yeah, I don't think that I think if anything, it was fake on Gizelle's part, and Wendy probably definitely let her know, like, if we're gonna be cool, we're gonna be cool, or we're just gonna be lying sisters, or sorority sisters. So that's it. So it definitely gave that. We'll never know. I guess.
You notice she said, "I'm not coming with any isms."
Yeah.
Girl, we know you a colorist. Move on, girl. We don't care.
Exactly.
I thought it was to set expectations, and she said isms.
My Lord. So then we get a scene of Stacy and her daughter, and her daughter name is Arabella. Her daughter is biracial, so her current husband, about to be divorced to whatever, separation husband, whatever, is German. So they're co-parenting in the same home, but they're seeing other people right now. So they, unlike Ashley, have actually moved on, but able to still co-parent. And so that's working well for them. But the daughter does not know. She's protecting that from her for a while, I guess, until she finds it out. She has a crash pad, and that's just kind of how they're living. In a similar scene, I'm putting these two together. We see Karen, and we finally see Kiana. And we know Kiana was she was a friend of last year, brought in by Wendy, friends with Candace as well. She had the whole incident with Ashley's friend, the physical fight. What's her name? What's the girl name?
Sesame Street.
Deborah. So she had that, but she's actually a full-time housewife. And it's funny because there was a point where they were saying that she was going to be filming, but she wasn't going to be a full-time housewife. But apparently, just from what I heard, we the people spoke so much that they made her a full-time housewife. So I love that for her. They needed somebody else. So we lost two, we got two. So I'm glad that she wasn't just thrown into the mix. She actually has a reason to be there, and she already has a footing in the door. So it was good to have her as well as somebody that was completely new. I think that's kind of how it should be done. Test these people out. If you work out and we like them, bring them on in and see how it works, and then we go from there. I think she's a great addition too. So her and Karen are close. They became close because Karen was one of the more concerned people when the incident happened. So they show that. Kiana is moving in with her boyfriend. So they're not married, but she's moving in with him. And we find out that Kiana was not invited to Karen's party. So, Kiana said she didn't know anything about it. And there's the upcoming GNA Fusion event, which she's not invited about, but she's kind of apprehensive about going because, the last time she went to a GNA event, she left with her head busted open, right? And so, Karen just basically, keeps, she just basically questioning about the upcoming event, and this basically says that, listen, she don't want no fake bitches around her. That's what she keeps saying. So she want to make sure that people that are on her side are there for her. In other words, she don't want nobody questioning her. She don't want nobody saying whether she was wrong or right. She wants them to know that, listen, the truth is what she says, and that's what it is. So any thoughts on Stacy, Arabella, her relationship with her soon-to-be ex-husband, and then Karen and Kiana's conversation? Asia.
I like the intro for Stacy. It's kind of giving like updated Katie a little bit. So I like it.
Lord, I
I
said
was
that.
going to say Katie, not on drugs.
We
You
said
said that?
that last week, and I said like this.
That's
But it's good. It's a good Katie though. It's a good
Yeah.
Katie.
yeah. What Danny said, like Katie not on
Drugs.
anything. So I like that. And I like that she is actually bringing up. Well, she brings it up later with Ashley, but we see her daughter. With Kierna, I was excited to see Kay. I think that is a pretty girl. She's a pretty girl. She has the fashions. And I like seeing that her relationship with Karen has grown. The incident was unfortunate, however, something beautiful seems like it's blossoming from that incident between the two of them. So, yeah, cute.
I don't got nothing about Miss Stacey Dash, but when it comes to Kiarna not being invited to GNA's party, to Karen's party, the first thing I said, wow, Gizelle put the party. Look at her alienating someone else, because I know there's still some harbored feelings from that fight from the event last season towards her. And, I'll get into it more later on, but Gizelle not inviting Kiarna was crazy to me, because you might be throwing the event, but you're throwing the event for someone's birthday. Invite who they're close to, who they would want to be there. Take your feelings out of it.
Yeah, aka we could leave Jacqueline out because why?
Jacqueline, Jassy, Vivian, all of them could have stayed home and made room for her.
Maybe not invite. I mean, I get the cast, but maybe not invite the person that is into it with Karen, like Thea. I don't know, or her friend. I don't know. If it was a seat, if it was something about a seat,
See, Jacqueline didn't need to be there.
Yeah,
Jacqueline did not need to
be there. I like Jassy right now. I like her.
I do like Jazzy, and that's crazy. I do like Jazzy, and I'll tell you who she remind me of, but we're gonna get to that later.
Okay.
Okay, so the next scene is actually Karen and Gizelle, and they go to Giselle's house. I like how they show us little pieces of Giselle's house. It's come such a long way from when it was a COVID testing site 2-3 years ago. I do want to see where those stairs go to, the stairs that we saw.
Neverland.
Right. I want to see where those stairs are now and where they go to. But in the conversation, Karen feels like the party was created to question her. She's kind of on the defense. I think, and I like Karen. I think Karen's on the defense anyway. She knows it happened. She knows she's on the show. She knows that somebody's gonna try to make it out of a storyline. So I'm like, girl, I'm sorry, you are not exempt. And I know what she wants. She wants them to support her and blah blah. But you're on a TV show, so if the best way to remove yourself from any scrutiny and any type of whatever is probably to leave the situation, and you didn't leave, which I'm glad you did. So just be ready for whatever. I hope that's my advice for her. And I love Karen, but yeah, she knows better. She ain't no damn spring chicken. So she didn't like the whole references about the non-alcoholic drink title. She didn't like any of that. She didn't like the fact that Wendy got a bucket hat. She felt like, it just wasn't really, needed. They talk about the conversation that Gizelle had with Wendy. And she basically says that they're going to be cool. And that they talked about their differences. And not Robin. I said Robin, Lord, please not Robin. Karen liked that they had that conversation. Then they talk about Jacqueline. And before they can talk about Jacqueline, Karen says that Jacqueline is in jail. Because in the conversation that they had at the table, instead of her saying, that's the truth, she said, well, there's still more to be, there's more unknowns. So we're going to find out the truth later. Karen didn't like that. So she says that, and mind you, Gizelle didn't even get out what Jacqueline actually said. She didn't know, Karen, I don't think Karen actually knows that she said that she called her possibly drunk, So maybe we'll get to that later, but it don't matter. She already in jail. So is she gonna be probably under the jail when she find it out? We'll see. And then they talk about Kiana not being invited to the party. Gizelle says there was only a certain amount of seats. I'm like, girl, please, you can pull up a chair, you can figure something out. Like, stop it. Y'all were not in a damn stop. Like there was, I don't think it was that. Like they killed me with stuff like that. And they talk about inviting her to the GNA event. Which Karen then announces that she has an event on the same day, but she says, I don't know, it's probably early in the day. I'll be at your event. I'm going to be at Gizelle. I am going to be at your event. Now, mind you, when as Gizelle is asking her for details, she's like, oh, I don't know. I don't know what time it is. It's probably early, child. I'll be there. So I'll stop here and get y'all thoughts on this before I move forward. on this conversation? Anything about this scene?
Now, Karen, ain't nobody giving out an awards at noon. That's number one.
It could have been a lunch.
And what I didn't like about Gizelle recounting the story, how the brunch or lunch, dinner, whatever went down with her and Wendy, is she said that she said what she told to Wendy about how she feels, but she left out what Wendy said to her about, and Wendy, she didn't tell Karen, and Wendy said that I alienated, but she didn't say that. Maybe it was edited out, but if I didn't see it, it didn't happen. So I'm gonna get her for just trying to make it seem like she said what she had to say. Wendy said, I hear you, and we're gonna move forward. Like, I didn't like that at all. And Karen, I love her. She's one of my faves out here, but I'm with you, Cortez. I don't think that luncheon, that birthday thing, whatever the hell it was set up to question her. No matter where they all gathered with Karen first, it was gonna come up. No matter where it was. If you don't, Karen, you should have got there yourself and gathered everybody together to the house and say, "Here's what I'm allowed to tell you. We done with it. Bye." Like that. That was it. But
yeah,
that's it.
Asian.
Karen, I'm gonna ask you because you put people's lives in danger. And Karen, I'm gonna clown you every time because that behavior is unacceptable. It'd be different if it was her first event. I would have a little bit more compassion. Ma'am. Who said she wasn't a spring chicken? It was one of y'all. But she's not young. She knows. She knows better. She didn't have whole storylines about her canoodling with her own driver for the first DUI. How are we getting a second one? How we not having Uber money? Grandon, like, where's your chariot? It's unacceptable. And they should be clowning you every chance they get because that is dangerous. That is so dangerous. You could endanger everybody around you, even the dang on deer. The tree.
That's for deer.
The tree. Look,
they need to give that deer a flute. That deer needs a flute. Because that deer is a product.
That's funny. I'm just saying. So yeah, Karen, you know what you. I know we all need to check. So I mean, sit there and take your lashings. In terms of Gizelle, like I don't have nothing for her, and I am glad that Karen is setting it up in a way to get Gizelle back for how Gizelle treated Karen when her parents passed away. So Gizelle, you also you're getting everything you deserve. No, I don't know. Yeah, my award is being given to me at 9 a.m. It's a brunch. It's mimosas. Carry on. I love how Karen did that. It was so messy.
It was very, I don't know. Yeah, let's talk about something else.
Yeah, it was just like, yeah, I'll be there. It's I don't know what time it is. Not let me try to see. Let me try to make sure it doesn't collide. You know what she could have did? She could have said, well, I haven't been the same day, so I don't want to promise I'll be at your event, but let me get back to you on what time. Something,
I didn't say that because she was already setting up the scheme from time.
She already was trying to come. I would say. So let's get into that part. So the next day in the morning,
that non-alc named Grandon, Karen said bet. Clock in.
Well, yes, I agree. So the next morning, Karen sends out a text message and she basically tells them, and instead of her saying, oh my God, I know y'all committed to this event. My event is this day. Some. She didn't even acknowledge that event. She said, I'm cordially inviting you all to my event to come, blah, 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 on this date. And some, as if there was nothing going on that day. Like they had nothing to do, no plans, no obligations. And it's just a whole uproar in the text message, the text theory group that Jacqueline is not in, by the way. She's in jail. She's not in the group chat, in this group thread. And we see Gizelle says her reply is like, it don't matter, just go to her event. Gizelle is already pissed. So at this moment, it's like, baby, we back to season 1. That's what I felt like. We done made all this progress. They have their little whatever, but I'm like, these two are going to be back to season 1, literally. And so, I will say I hollered because in her confessional, Gizelle said, I mean, what is she being honored for? Running into a tree? And I was like, oh my gosh.
I
I
screamed.
know.
I was like, I said, I know Karen is over there
I
mad and she is going
what
to
I
get
missed.
Giselle. They are going to have it out again because that coming along was so much.
I want Giselle to put together on one of them Uncle Ben t-shirts, something similar like that for this. Bring me back some old school Potomac.
That's how I know that this season's going to be interesting because I will say, although Giselle never really can fire back at Karen, she can truly piss her off. She does. She does have ways to do things like to piss her off. So it's going to be that let me know it's going to be a good season just because I know they have the history, but their feud it was crazy. It has stopped. Now it's reignited with a whole different fuel. So it is what it is. The claws are out. So we get to the day of the GNA event and, she's Ashley's there. I'm gonna call her Ashley Dixon because that's who she is now. We lost Robin to get Robin 2.0, and that's Ashley now. So that is Giselle's new sidekick. Clearly, they can say it's about GNA, it's a fusion, all they want. No, they are keeping each other on the show, literally, because I can tell at this moment. But Gizelle doesn't want them to come. She's mad. She doesn't like what they're doing, like what Karen has done with the event. She doesn't want them to come. Ashley feels like it was definitely intentional. That's why I called her Ashley Dixon. She's lost her brain. And so so the ladies all meet up. And I will say this little scene was so fun and fresh to see. It was Mia and Jazzy, Stacey, Wendy, Karen all meeting up, and it just gave like a whole new dynamic of the show. Just in that one little moment, they was getting together. Yeah. This was Jazzy Spirit Advance. I was like, this looks it looks so like fresh. Yeah, and mind you, I'm not saying get rid of anybody because these are needed, but this let me know that it's gonna be some fun this season because they had like some good fun energy. This is what I got from it. And so they meet up and they go there. What would they don't know where they're going. They got to figure out where they're going. Meanwhile, Vivian, aka Sharice 2.0, is at Giselle's event. She showed. She said, "Listen, this is what I RSVP for. This is where I'm going to be." So Giselle is just so happy she has somebody on her side outside of Ashley because they didn't really.
Ain't speak to Vivian again all night.
Right. They said, don't even care for that damn lady. Ain't bought one of her dresses. Ain't did nothing. So back on the Sprinter van, they talk about the invitation, and Stacey is just like, listen, she's like, well, Karen kind of put us in this situation, but I'm still gonna stick beside her regardless, because that's just what I'm gonna do. But Jazzy calls Ashley, and she basically lets them know that they're gonna be coming from Karen's event, but they're gonna get there at 8:30. And Ashley's like, well, girl, the event ends at 9. Like, I'm like, ooh, well, you know what? She got a point there. But she was like, well, we're gonna try to get there by 8. So they choose 8. Well, Wendy and Karen is like, listen, y'all can say what y'all want to say and do what y'all gonna do. I'm staying at Karen's event. When I get there, I'll get an Uber, but this is where I'm going. I don't give a damn. Kiana's like, I'm not trying to get popped in my face again in any kind of way. I had a bad experience. And Wendy's like, listen, I just made up with this hoe, so I really don't care. And so they ended up. So Ashley tells Gizelle, and Gizelle is just like, they are rude. Not only are they rude, they are effing rude. Mother effing rude. I'm like, oh, she is mad, honey. I don't know. Quick stop. TKC is in the chat. No Robin, no show. Baby, this show is already so much better.
Go on strike.
Just want to let you know.
Like, no justice, no peace.
But if you want to support Robbie, you can always buy her hats, which I'm sure you have not. So go buy you can buy a hat because that's the only way.
Woo, jeez, I forgot about the hat.
You see what I said? I just said no justice, no peace. And look at TKC talking about some justice for Robin.
You know what?
Oh, yeah.
I love the little Robins. Robin. What if Robin come back season 10?
The bird. I call them the bird.
Thank you. No Chaser TV is in the chat. Shout out to No Chaser TV. Hey y'all, baby. We so glad Robin gone. Yes.
Hallelujah. Yeah, I touch and agree on
What's
that.
the little meme that lady? Woo. All right,
Your
y'all.
hands emoji.
And so where am I at? So then after that, we find out Jacqueline is not on the group chat. Gizelle tells her why, because of the whole Karen thing. And she's just basically telling them about the whole support thing. So we see the ladies at Karen's event. They're there for a little bit, and they time it so perfectly because they are going to actually arrive at 8:00. I'm like, okay, great. Now I'm actually upset because I saw the preview for next week, a whole scene, and I thought it was going to be in this one. So I was like, because I just watched it like an hour ago, so I was kind of mad. But they get there at 8:02. And they taking a drink so they can go in, blah, blah, blah. But as they are walking in, Gizelle is like, get out. She calls her security. Gizelle loves security, child. She calls her security and is like, get them out of here. And Stacy is just like flabbergasted. So that's how the episode ends. It's a continuation to next week. But what are y'all thoughts on how all this happened? I mean, a lot happened, but basically the event started. The ladies were kind of figure out where they were going to go. They end up making it to Karen's event. They do what they got to do. Wendy and Kiana stay back because as Wendy says, well, she came to see them receive an award, and she didn't receive the award, so I'm gonna stay till then. And they get there at 8:02. So what are y'all thoughts? Without even talking about what actually happens, what are y'all thoughts on all this, Asia?
I live for two reasons.
Okay.
One, like, I love Gizelle pissed off because, like, activate her, and she is activated. It goes to show, because as she said in there, I don't understand why Karen would do this. She should know more than anyone how it feels to lose a parent. Yes, and she knows how it feels to have somebody sabotaging you and treating you like crap when you lose a parent. And I don't know if she's timing it on purpose, but baby, she's giving Gizelle exactly what Gizelle gave her. And she's really actually still being nice about it. But I love the sneakiness. I thought the timing was so perfect because they really only stayed at Karen's event for maybe 15 minutes. Yeah. Maybe. They hop right back on them bus.
Did you catch how Karen was just like, basically trying to be so supportive about, how they should go, support the event, but she was just really trying to like.
Yeah, he said it like, I told them to leave, Gizelle. I told them they should go.
She sat down and wrote this out. Okay, whoever heard perfectly, like, baby, this is what we gonna do. All right, and I'm bet you she gonna have more scenes like that throughout the season, and I'm excited. But yeah, I love how, and she was just gleeful that they even missed the first 2 hours of Gizelle and Ashley's event and came and made it a point to come to hers, even if it was only 15 minutes. She was so happy. Then I thought the ladies were actually doing a really good job of keeping up time, trying to stay in the middle on both sides. And the fact that they got there earlier, like Ashley said, like, no, y'all need to get here at 8. And they pulled up at 8 with drinks in hand, makeup still done, hair still laid down. I said, I love it. Everybody needs to have a driver to get them from point A to point B. And Karen could learn from that as well.
Fuzzy, something.
Baby, I need that driver. Okay.
Karen said transportation has been provided. No, that was Jesse's driver. That wasn't. What's the transportation you provided, Karen?
I don't know what that was a setup by Todd. Okay, it was a scheme set up by Todd. I was so happy about it. And the fact that they got there on time, when Ashley said, like, it made it even better because now Gizelle, what are you mad at? Why are we upset?
Sorry.
Because we came by the time they said.
Baby, it wouldn't have mattered if they got there at 7:55. Let's just say that Gizelle was upset that they even thought about going to Karen's event at any point over her. It's like, I will say this, and I'm sorry, Danny, but
no,
I know the cause of this event. I know what it's about. But at the end of the day, it's an event, and like somebody said in the chat just now, Gizelle was upset that they chose Karen. Usually it's not that they choose Gizelle, but Gizelle is always on the more dominant side of things. And in this moment, they all chose her, literally, except for Vivian and Jacqueline. So what is that?
I think Vivian was like, you know what? Karen event too far. I'm gonna see her tomorrow.
It wasn't even 24 minutes apart. It actually was closer because the timing of which they got there, it was like maybe 20 minutes if that or less.
Okay. That was funny.
This comment just made me chuckle by MJ. Which said Karen woke up and chose violence because she did. It was 6:30 in the morning when she sent that group text out.
Baby, she said sin.
Yeah, she wrote it the other night, used that new iPhone feature, iOS feature, had a schedule for the next morning.
Mm-hmm.
She wanted to piss Gizelle off even more. Gizelle wasn't going to go back to sleep and get no good rest. She ruined her for the rest of the day, knowing that was her event day. But so here's the thing. Do I understand Gizelle being mad? Sure. Do I care is the question. The answer is an emphatic no. I do not care whatsoever, no way, shape, or form. It was funny, it was nice that Aunt Viv showed up and said she RSVP'd first, to the event. It was funny to see Stacey in that car saying, I hate that Karen put me in this position. Like, it was just like, like she was having a meltdown. Like she is best friends with Gizelle. She don't even know her. Like, girl, Karen is the one worry about her going to her event. She should have been staying with Wendy and Kiara, if you ask me.
I agree. And the thing is, Mia went to the event. But it's just that's what's crazy about it. It's just like it's bad when the person that she don't really like went to the event to support her.
Yeah,
because Mia could have easily been like, and it's Jazzy. She could have been like, no, girl, we're going here first. Like, I gotta support my girl. But at this rate, I mean, she kind of mad at both. So it's like,
You ever seen that meme or video of Lil Uzi when he do the little side shoulder shimmy thing?
Which one?
Lil Uzi when he does.
I think so. Yeah.
Yep.
That's what Karen gave me after they all finally left and went to the event. Like, she did that. She did that. That's what I pictured Karen doing. And yeah, I like the energy was amazing. Cortez with this, with this group of younger women together. I love how they were struggling and making sure they got that last little bit of sip of that.
Yes, baby, that's me.
Walked out.
That's me. I was like, oh, hold on, let me just. That's why. The thing is, they would have been in there at 8:02, but they had to take them drinks, so they got in at 8:04.
If you're late, you might as well be late and get that buzz because you're gonna need it for what's about to come.
Correct.
And that was it. Like, I get Gizelle being mad. I just don't care. She's done so much evil, nasty stuff all season. And I know you said that her and Karen have come so far, but to me, they really haven't. They're still at the same place they were season 1.
Who came so far?
Giselle and Karen. You said they've come a long way. I feel like they're still in the same spot from first season 1.
I think they've only traveled as far as that car to that tree. I don't think they've gone that far.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, I feel like their relationship, like they can sit down and have conversations, but they both, I mean, just in general, they're always going to have that. Like, Gizelle is always going to throw shade, regardless. And when Karen wants to really fight back, she's going to choose violence, and she chose violence. I thought this was a great, like, Housewives. Like, they haven't had anything on this show like this since I feel like Gizelle sat in Karen's seat. Like, they had not had anything that was just like you couldn't have put the drama together better, even perfectly, because it was just like, this is perfect.
It's like you said, it wasn't dark, and Gizelle having security there to me was kind of perfect, even though it's annoying because she knew something. Gizelle was ready to put somebody out.
Of course,
because there was no reason to have security there. Maybe because it looked like they put up to the alley of a warehouse to let them in. So maybe
I don't know where they was. They had candles on the floor and stuff. I don't know where they were, but they had candles and they made it look like.
But this was also one of the nicest events I've seen Gizelle throw. It didn't look so cheap on the inside.
Well, she got rid of the Gucci car. She has a G-Wagon now, so she got a little more money.
Yeah, this was one of the nicer. Oh, the Inheritance.
Oh, maybe so. I don't know.
Y'all.
Was that? I think that was the same bodyguard from when Monique. Was that him?
I think the problem I have with people calling, like, I don't like you calling no grown men on women. Like, that is trash to me. Don't put a woman in that situation.
None of them said they.
But having so.
They would have all left.
They would have just left because they were just like, wait, what? Hey,
you actually.
And the guy started walking. He even was like, "Damn, you really gonna have me?" Don't put black women in danger like that. Just kick them out. You don't have to call me.
You caused a trashy scene
Yeah.
at your event. Like, no. Girl.
Yeah. So I know that it's next week's episode, but I feel like we've all seen what's to come. And I'm just gonna kind of there's no callers in the queue, so that's fine. And we're gonna probably lean out soon. But I just want to say we know that basically they get kicked out. They go back to the Sprinter van. Stacy is just mortified. And little Miss Ashley runs out and says, "Oh, I'm sorry, y'all have to come in, but can y'all give a donation?" Can y'all give a donation? And that's why I titled this live Ashley Got Bags, because I saw that thinking it was this week.
Oh, okay.
Jazzy tells, I guess basically Jazzy tries to close the door on Ashley, and she's like, that's harassment. You know, she in this episode, she said that she identifies as a black woman, but as I always say, that white woman always comes out. So in this moment, she says that's harassment, and Jazzy tells her, "Go on, you got bags." But
next week, call it Ashley still got bags.
I have one thing to add in, because we didn't talk about this, and it could be brief. But you saw how Ashley was struggling to call her kids black, right? We all saw that.
I didn't mean to skip that scene. That's why I just like, oh, shit.
Well, I was struggling too.
That whole scene, I'm gonna tell you, Asia, was crazy to me, because I like how she said I identify as black, and I was just like,
they got so much of their father's genes. She probably like, ain't nobody gonna believe it if I say it.
Not saying she's not black, but I'm just like, she made it. It's like, of all these years, now you want to make that statement. Like, was it really needed? Because we know what I mean. Hello.
I liked how Stacy was explaining how she feels and when she wants her daughter to be proud of the same things that she was proud of. I liked what Stacy was saying.
Yeah, I don't think Ashley wants that for her kids. I'm sorry. No.
She wants to be with privilege.
Yeah, I don't think she wants that.
And they're gonna need it.
The brown paper bag test was live and well up in that DMV area since the early 1900s. Okay, so spare me now. Stacey being in Detroit makes sense, but Ashley, kill it.
I don't talk about children's books, but they're gonna need that privilege.
I also didn't like how she was trying to, like, in her confessional, like, throw digs at them living together, and how she felt like, you know, if you still in the same house, there's feelings. I'm like, no, Ashley, everybody's not, you know, allowing a golem, a damn, you know, gargoyle to pay for their house and come in and still have sex with them and stuff like that. Some people actually set boundaries. Like, you know, some people don't do what you do. So I feel like she was slightly projecting, but she didn't do it to her face. She did it in a confessional with her little. I hate that confessional look with the little wet side little piece. I really hate that.
Trying too hard to me.
The rest of it, I don't mind. Is so bad. I called it Cat Doja because it's so ugly. It's just I don't like it.
She looked like Doja Cat to me.
And is it me, or is Ashley just so like? I've never heard her talk about sex so much in the last year and a half than I have ever. It's like she's so, I'm horny, I gotta have sex all the time. It's like, it's just like, we get it, Ashley. You're single now. You have not really had good sex since you've been married with that man, so you finally get some good sex. Congratulations.
That's free promo. She's advertising that she's ready to give that.
Yeah. But yeah, so we're gonna talk about that scene with the Sprinter van and next week, and that's the part of next week's episode. That was pretty much all. So any final thoughts? I'll put the link in the chat one more time for any callers. If not, we're gonna lean out very soon. Then don't try to all join at the same time because their link was in there like 10 minutes ago. But we will allow some callers still if y'all want to join. So any final thoughts from the panel on the show episode?
Keep up this pace.
Yeah.
They're on the right path. This formula seems to be working so far.
Yeah, it's good. It's really good.
I don't think Candace would have fared well this season with her pregnancy because they look like they're like really having fun and drinking this season. Like, and she would have just been on the sideline. Well,
honestly, unless her not well, girl. Yes, Candace is doing well. I have reached out to her and she's doing just fine. I will say.
I'm glad Candace ain't here because she would have had the baby. Ashley would have called her a filthy milk maiden, and it would have just been too much for me. So
now,
yeah.
I'm glad with where they are now. All the adjustments and changes to the cast are like perfect. I don't have any issue right now, and it looks like they're trying to push the franchise forward because they were about to be on my not want to watch ever again list because it was a mess. So yeah,
You know they was on mine.
huh? They was like, you did say that.
I was not about to watch this season.
Well, I'm glad you came.
I had zero plans to watch it.
You did say that.
I was not. I watched the first episode.
Go ahead. My bad.
You said what?
No, go ahead.
No, I said I watched the first episode and I was like, okay, I like this. And I've seen that Wendy was invited to the White House, and I really want to see if any part of that is filmed or make it to the show. I just want to see how DC this season actually gets with the election coming around and all that other good stuff. But yeah, I had no plans on watching it, and I'm glad it's lightened up. And I still really don't want to see Gizelle.
Yeah,
but I'm fine.
I was gonna say Jazzy. It's not that she reminds me of Candace, but she has an energy that she has a mouth. And she's gonna say some stuff. So that is what I see, and that's why I'm drawn to her. I like Stacey too, though. Stacey gives me not only Katie, she gives me, you know, the early seasons of Potomac.
She does.
And I think having Jazzy, Kiana, and Stacey there, it's a good blend of type of women. I don't want to say I love Stacey just yet, but I am curious to see because she seems, based off of the trailer, that she's very verbal and she speaks out all the time. So
she's like your little sister too.
She do give that. So, and that's good. If I would look at her, I wouldn't think she would be that kind of person. But I am glad. I'm excited to see how she is.
And Jazzy,
Detroit.
I can see her getting a flute next season if she show up enough.
I'm weak. Yep. Football cat. Jazzy said Jazzy used to crazy passions on her flights. She was a flight attendant. So that makes sense. She probably is used to dealing with that. I can see her being on my damn flight.
You have to get off.
Okay. Can you please move that bag from? Can you get that bag from your lap?
Put the bag up. That ain't my job. You doing?
Window shade up, please. We are landing. Thank you. Oh yeah, she was international too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, she was. Yeah, that's
and
good.
He's rich.
He's a boyfriend, a football player.
If he rich, I'm rich.
You right. She said she ain't doing no more, so he may tell her, baby, you ain't gotta find no more. Just come be here. So
I'm how rich I am. I would have kept them flight benefits.
I know that's right. Well, on that note, we're gonna go ahead and lean out. I thought it was a good episode. You know, I'm excited for next week. We'll be here next week. The week after that, well, next week is actually my birthday, but I'll be here next Monday. But the following 2 weeks from today, which is like the 28th,
something.
We'll still be here. Danny will be hosting unless something comes up.
No, I'll be hosting.
Okay, yeah, we'll be here for the shows. This week we'll be here for Salt Lake City as well. I can't say the same for Salt Lake City next week. So just, of course, if you are watching, if you're subscribed, you'll know I'll make a post. I'll try to make it earlier in advance, but sometimes, the day goes by, honey. I am on the West Coast time. So make sure y'all like this video. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already. Thank you, Asia. Thank you, Danny. And then next week we'll be here with either these two, or we'll be here with Dream, or Sammy, or Jasmine, or Antonio, or me. Whoever.
But somebody will be here.
Right. Somebody will be here. Thank y'all for watching, and we'll see y'all next week, okay? Have a good night. Peace.
Good night.